So if you didn't see my previous video where I introduced my new car, my 720 Bhp Bmw M6, go and check that out in the link up in the corner. I'll also put a link in the description. But this is basically going to be my first drive of this car on YouTube, all right? So let's get on with the video. Right, before we get on with this video, let me just quickly take you for a little walk around this car again. So obviously it's signal green, it's got loads of little black touches here and there. We've got Vorsteiner side skirts, front and rear splitters, a rear spoiler as well from Vorsteiner, carbon tail tips, carbon roof. It's mental, man. And the thing with this car is, one thing that I really like about it, and I love this particular thing in a lot of cars, is road presence, right? If a car's got road presence, it's got me on side. And this car, when you sort of stand next to it, or when you stand and look at it, it just looks so different. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted this car. When you drive down the road in this car, it gets so much attention. Obviously, if you're not the type of person who likes attention, I'm not exactly an attention seeker, but I like to stand out. And if you want to stand out, that is a very good way to stand out. So yeah, what we're going to do today is we're going to hop inside, get the engine started, 4.5 litre V8 or 4.4 litre V8, twin turbo, 700 odd horsepower, and going to go for a drive, all right? The battery is a little bit low. I think I mentioned that. It sort of struggles to start. I think I mentioned that in the previous video. The reason why the battery is low is because it's just barely been driven. It's only done 9,800 miles in 4 years. I think in the last year. So I think I mentioned this. I don't even know if I mentioned this in the previous video. It depends if it made it to the edit. But yeah, I think it's done a few hundred miles since the last MOT. So it hasn't been driven much at all. But I think best thing to do is, it's warm. Yeah, let's give it a few little revs and give you an idea of what it sounds like. Right, let's get my seatbelt on and hit the road. Now the strange thing with this car is, when you start the engine, it puts it into, like, just as a standard from start, it puts it into an efficient mode. So we're just currently, it says efficient on the dash. It's got comfort suspension switched on and comfort steering, so the steering's nice and light. And as you drive it, the gearbox is in auto mode. It's quite a calm thing to drive, as much as it looks absolutely savage. As you look over the bonnet, you see the green bonnet. We've got a head-up display in front of us as well, but it's like the subtle version of the head-up display, right? And then what you can do is, on the steering wheel, like most M cars nowadays, you've got the M1 and the M2 button. They're basically just two separate profiles set up to however you want it. You can change how they're set up on the iDrive system, so you can have the suspension in Sport or Sport Plus, steering in Sport or Sport Plus, and so on, right? And I've changed M1, so if I double press the button, the gearbox goes in sports mode. Throttle response is in sports mode. You can add a throttle response in Sport Plus, but it's just a bit too fiery. Sounds crazy, I know, but I just prefer it a bit lighter on my foot. Sport suspension, comfort steering, that's how I've got it set up. I prefer the steering feeling a bit light. Sometimes when it's a bit too hard and heavy, just don't feel as good. But what it's also doing for me is it's put the traction control system into MDM mode, which stands for M Dynamic, and that allows the diff to just slip a bit more than what it normally would in comfort mode, right? So we're in manual. Even the gearbox, so yeah, I've got the gearbox on speed 2 because speed 3 is actually a bit too harsh. And now when you put your foot down, back end is it's an absolute handful to drive, and it is a big car, so you're constantly thinking you're gonna lose it. You've got that in your mind all the time, because you've got all this power going to the rear wheels, and despite the size of the rear wheels, it don't do a very good job of putting the power down. It is about, what's the temperature? It's 2 degrees today, so the roads are not only a little bit damp, but they're also freezing cold. But if you have a little listen to the sound it makes between the gears, so sort of midway through the rev range, you blip the throttle, it kind of bangs between gears. See, that's from third to fourth, then the back end just kicks. It's a proper lively car. I swear it's different to the RS6. Like today I could be in the RS6, flattening the throttle, no problem at all. The wheels do give way a little bit on the RS6, but you ain't got to be as much mentally on point in that car than you do this car. On this car, you've got to be on top of your game, because it's just, you've got to be really gentle with the throttle, really thinking about what you're doing with that throttle pedal, because it's a crazy car, man, I'm telling you. And obviously, like right now, I want to show you what it's capable of, show you what it's like, show you how crazy this car really is. But you know, I am on normal roads, and I've got 700 brake horsepower, 720, 30, whatever it is. We'll find out soon on a dyno, but it's a lot of power, and I don't want to break any rules or any laws, you know that. That is really light throttle work there, and the back end is probably not showing it too well through the camera, but yeah, it just gives you a brief idea. Very difficult for me to show you through a camera what it's really like, but gives you a real brief idea how uncontrollable this car is. But I always say I like it because sometimes in a full drive car the wheels don't do what you tell them to do, so you put your foot down because you're waiting for them to gain traction, or not even waiting for them to gain traction, because they're doing such a good job of gaining traction. The car doesn't do almost as it's told, whereas this, when you put your foot down on the throttle pedal, the back end just gives way. So although it's not good from a traction point of view, it is good for your mind, because you feel like the car's doing what you're telling it to do. See now, see what I mean? Like I say, I've got to give it its due. It is an icy day today, so it's not likely to put much power down, but yeah, man, it's a handful. So this car, when new, was over £100,000. What? Over £100,000 new, and like I said, it's the most unique M6 on the planet as far as I know. That's a big statement, isn't it? That is a big statement. It's probably not the most unique one on the planet, but it is very unique. And when you see this car in front of you, trust me, I know I just mentioned it, but it just looks so different. When you drive down the road in it, everyone just looks at it like, they say, what the bloody hell is that? And it's part of the reason why I really wanted this car. Sometimes cars have got character that other cars don't have, and like, you can go and buy a car and get it wrapped green. That's something that I would definitely do personally. I don't think there's anything wrong with getting a car wrapped green, but the fact that this car is painted in signal green, which is a shade of green that I really like, it just makes it that little bit more special than other cars, doesn't it? Even on the interior, we've got an Alcantara roof, little things like that. Again, character, quality, it's something that this car offers that not many cars do. That's quite a standard thing on a Bmw M6, but it's just nice to be sat in this cockpit right now, looking up and seeing an Alcantara roof. The green stitching, again, it's different, isn't it? Who's got a car with green stitching? So we've got carbon, we've got black leather, and then outside we've got green paint, and then on the inside we've got the green stitching. So it's a nice little colour theme going on here. And yeah, the tyre writing. Let's talk about the tyre writing quickly. For me, if I'm honest, I don't particularly like tyre writing, and like, I see people with tyre writing, I think, I don't know if that's me, because with this car, like, the tyre writing on this car is actually all worn out. It could do with being replaced. because I'm so used to seeing tyre writing on this car, it feels like it should stay. But let me know your thoughts on tyre writing. There's going to be mixed opinions in the comments, but I strangely think that tyre writing suits this car. So yeah, as far as plans for this car is concerned, because that's obviously important, because you're going to be thinking, well, it's been tuned, it's already green, you can't wrap it, the wheels have been done, it's been lowered, it's got a body kit on it, it's been done, it's a complete car. I spoke to Will at VRS and let him know that I've bought myself a new car, and he's like, Calv, you need to get that down to me, we need to see if we can get any more power out of it. So that's going to be happening. It has been tuned by Evolve, Imran at Evolve, shout out to him, he's a great guy. He's friends with Simon, who obviously this car came from, and yeah, he's got a good reputation, does a good job, so I can't imagine we're going to get much more out of it, but we'll see. There's always stuff that can be worked on, stuff that can be improved, and we'll see what we can do with it as far as getting more power out of it's concerned. So I think for me, like, I had no intentions of buying another car. Obviously, I don't need any more cars in my life. That's a fact, I've got too many. And I keep saying, look at my new project car, and this is what I'm about to do with this car. And I've got lots of stuff going on in a minute, lots of work, lots of content, lots of stuff on social media. I need to calm down a little bit and concentrate on what I've got. But when I got that message in the week from Simon to say, do you want to buy the Hulk? I was like, gotta buy that car. Got to buy that car, because it's one of the only cars that I've set eyes on in the last God knows how many years, and thought one day I really want to own that car. So yeah, it's going to be staying put. So is the RS6. Simon's gone off and bought himself a Porsche 911 Carrera S in a similar shade of green. You might have seen that on my Instagram. And Simon's also the guy that I done a video on his Rolls Royce.
Your skin, just the touch of your hand.
So he's a proper guy, he buys proper cars. He sold his old Rolls Royce and bought a brand new one shortly after I'd done that video. And yeah, he's a great guy, he looks after his cars, he goes to serious extents to get cars spec'd to different levels to most people do. And yeah, this is a great example of the sort of thing that he'd buy and spec up. It's done just under 10,000 miles, so the car is absolutely fresh. If you see this car in front of you, I cannot stress enough, I'm going to be doing a car show again, by the way. Let me just quickly mention that. I'm going to be doing a car show, Auto Fest at the Sharnbrook. That's going to be happening, I think, in May. I'll obviously follow more information up on that nearer the time, but this car is going to be at that show, providing I've still got it at that time. And trust me, if you're about, or if there's ever an opportunity where you can see this car through your own eyes in front of you, you need to go out your way to make it happen, because it's such a cool looking thing in front of you. Now I get that some people are going to look at it and be like, Cav, you know what, I don't like that car, I don't like the fact that it's green and black, and I don't like that combo, I get that people are going to dislike it, yeah, it's very, very different, I know that, but for me, I like things that are different, and it's done in a quality way. It is almost OEM plus, almost, which I like that about it. Green is a bit different, but do you know what, green is a new colour theme in my life. I'm going to be sticking with green stuff. I feel like just having a little rebrand, going from yellow on my Insta profile to green maybe. I might do that, because yeah man, I'm happy to be the owner of this car. So yeah, I just like I said, this is just a first drive video to just give you an idea. I can't light it up too much because the rear wheels are just lighting up for me, and I can't, yeah, not really much I can do, but you can get the idea. Like, I'm just really gentle with that throttle pedal, and it's wanting to step out. It's yeah, it's a beast of a car. But what I'm going to do is I'm on my way to work now. I've got a tractor in front of me. I like doing this journey to work, slightly different subject. So as I drive down this road, all these trees and that, I can't show you my favourite section of this drive yet because I've got a tractor in front of me. Let me just click my fingers and we'll step to the scene that I want to show you. There we go, look at that. Look at all the trees. I don't know what it is about this little journey to work. You might have seen it on my Instagram a few times, but just look at that for a view. The trees just look so good. The locals probably aren't too happy about the trees being cut down there. I'm sure that's causing a bit of a stir, but yeah, Woburn, somewhere in Woburn, the golf course is on my right here. I'm on my way to Binker. It's a nice little journey to work. So yeah, so as far as like the next step for this car is concerned, I've got a few little ideas I want to do to it. If you've got any suggestions, do definitely comment below. But I've got a few little things I want to do to it, just to make it a bit more personal to me. We've got the private plate, very big BHP. I do like that plate, but it's kind of, I don't know if that should stay with the car. I don't know if I should put my own plate on it. I've got a few plates of my own, so that might happen as well. Not sure yet. Obviously, as far as selling it's concerned, naturally everything's up for sale, but I don't want to rush to sell this car because it's something that I've always wanted. All right, so yeah, I did actually intend on buying another M car. The car that I wanted was an M3 or an M4. I say that a lot. I love an M car. M3s and M4s are great cars, but obviously my good friend Ricky, Living Life Fast, he's got an M4. He's gone to town on that car. If I'd have bought an M3 or an M4 and tried to generate some kind of content on it, it would just be you lot watching the same story or the same journey that you'd seen on his channel, so it'd be boring. I couldn't do that to you. I couldn't go and buy an M3 and M4. So M6, let's have some fun with it. Let's yeah, we've got sort of, the winter's slowly getting out of the way now. We've got summertime coming, and yeah, I do intend on hanging on to it, like I say. All right, so yeah, brief introduction. On my way to work, first drive. You get the idea, I think. It's a bloody handful, proper savage car, looks the part. I'm happy to finally say that I'm the owner of the Hulk. I hope you like the video, I hope you like the car. If you did like the car, the video, whatever, hit the like button, that helps me a lot. I say that all the time. If you're new to my channel, quick little brief on, if you are new, what I'm about. Every Wednesday and Sunday, I'm obviously a car trader. Every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 o'clock, I upload a completely different car related video. It's my life, it's Calvin's car diary, literally. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon as well to get notified when I upload a video. And yeah, give me a follow on Instagram at Calvin's car diary, and I'll see you in my next video, alright? Bye. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, remember my old Bentley Arnage? Well, basically I've sold it, and what I've done is I've part exchanged it with another car trader and given cash on top for a car that he had in stock. Find out what car it is that I bought off him on Sunday at 6 o'clock.